Hi, I am Maria.
And I'm Sarah. And we are Nerdfighter roommates. So, we were both Nerdfighters, living in separate states.
I'm from Pennsylvania.
And I'm from New York.
I go to Tyler School of Art, and right now I'm just BFA, which means I'm just doing foundations. I'm gonna go into graphic design once I can pick a major, which will be spring of sophomore year.
My major is theater. I am a directing concentration. I was originally going to go into musical theater performance and be one of those starving actresses, and now I'll be a starving director instead. I directed a show, namely Laramie Project, and I realized that I got a lot more fulfillment out of directing, so that's why I am here. Temple University doesn't have a roommate selection process.
Let's be honest. You saw my profile picture and you're like, holy shit, that's the girl for me. Temple was pretty much like, hey, either you find a roommate or we'll just place someone in there. So,
and I knew I didn't want to room with a theater major.
And I didn't want an art major.
Because we were already going to be spending so much time with people of our major. Theater people get really fucking annoying really fast, and I love theater people, but you know what? I don't think I could live with one.
You know, Sarah being in theater and me being in art, it's still kind of the same realm of creativity, and so we can bounce ideas off each other and communicate creatively to each other without being the same person or identity and stuff.
Do you remember how it came up that we were both Nerdfighters?
I think we were talking about our favorite books.
We were talking online about our interests in music. I brought up Looking for Alaska because that's my favorite John Green book so far.
And I was like, I love John Green.
And I was like, we should be best friends. And she was like, yeah, we should. And I was like, are you familiar with the YouTube series? And she was like, I am a Nerdfighter! And I was like, I am a Nerdfighter too!
Yeah.
Maria, how did you get introduced to the wonderful world of Nerdfightaria?
I'll take you back to 10th grade. I had a really, really awesome English teacher, and we were reading The Catcher in the Rye, which was a fantastic book, and she used John Green's videos in class to talk to us and bring up topics about the book. And I was kind of sitting there watching this. I'm like, this guy is really awesome. And I went home that day and looked him up and realized it was a whole web series. And I think I just watched it straight through in one sitting. What about you, Sarah?
Well, I was an innocent little nerdy middle schooler. I was friends with this girl named Jessica, and she was a huge YouTube nerd. But she was like, hey, there's this awesome YouTube series, you would love it, it's called Vlog Brothers, and these two brothers, and they talk to each other, and it's really cool. And I was like, alright. And so I watched it, and I was hooked. And I read Looking for Alaska at wilderness camp, but I was in a tent in the middle of the wilderness on a very thunderstormy afternoon, because we weren't allowed to canoe during the thunderstorms because the canoes were metal. And I kept stopping and turning to the other girls who were in my tent and being like, guys, listen to this, it's so funny. And of course, out of context, they were like, Sarah, you're not that funny. Has Nerdfightaria changed you as a person at all, Maria?
I think it has. I think it's made me more aware about what's going on in the news, because I feel like they have a way of not simplifying it, but giving a good opinion.
Nerdfightaria sort of made me be okay with the fact that I'm super duper nerdy, and helped me be proud of my nerdiness, so that was awesome. Oh, here's the be-all end-all question, Maria. Who is your favorite nerd brother?
Oh, I love them both, and I don't like to discriminate, but I have a special place in my heart for John. I feel like he speaks poetically. He's got cool hair.
Well, I'm gonna balance out the scales. I've always been a Hank fan. I always really enjoyed the crazy hyperness that Hank's vlogs always sort of had, the Peep series. And I think I also always sort of had a little crush on Hank, I'm gonna be honest.
College is a big change. Especially for me, I came from being an only child and just kind of usually secluding myself to constantly being around people. And
God, that stupid roommate you have, she's awful.
I'm
so sorry you have to live with someone like that.
Yeah. We're getting valuable life experiences here.
Yeah, guys. In a final statement, we'd like to thank John and Hank Reed for...
You sounded like Hank just now.
Did I? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We do Vlogbrother videos. We really appreciate the community that you guys have built.
Nerdfightaria is awesome.
I think we might not have connected as well and might not have ended up as roommates if it weren't for Nerdfighters.
And we wouldn't have brought this beautiful video to the world that it's just gonna...
Oh my god. You're welcome, world. You are welcome. Thanks, John and Hank Green.
Thank you for anyone who's watching.
Thanks for being awesome. Guys, DFTV.
That's gonna be cut. Hey Sarah, when you edit this video, cut that part out.
I'm leaving that in. We just take a moment to appreciate the fact that I have a vagina right now.